up, boys? My name's Lucas Welter, here with my co-host Timmy Coney, back again by popular demand to welcome you to episode 5 of the Doghouse Connect.
We're bringing you 8 stories assembled by our Doghouse crew. Here at the high school, prom is still fresh on our minds. We also recall school resource officer Brad Fornash giving us important advice before it began.
That's right, Timmy, and his driving safety guidelines are recapped by Will Schiestel and Hunter Watkins.
Today, with it being the week before prom, we just wanted to talk about the DUI and how it would affect your life if you were caught drinking and driving, and just overall the effects that alcohol has on your body and your judgment. I brought the impairment goggles that the students voted for last year for me to get through the endowment, and we simulated doing some DWI tests. Simple things like stacking cups, tossing a ball around, and putting a key into the door just to simulate starting a car. And hopefully next time we do this, we'll have a pedal vehicle that we can drive a course through.
I would say that probably the most surprising thing was how even just eating something or drinking something afterward that wasn't alcoholic, that wouldn't help decrease the blood alcohol ratio, and it wouldn't help you sober up. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The thing that stood out the most to me was the body mass to alcohol ratio that he showed us, a little chart that showed how, based on weight, how intoxicated you'd be by just one glass of wine or one beer. So it's very interesting to see, for a person about my size, only 3 drinks or so would be well over the legal limit. I've actually known a few people personally who've been injured by other people that drink and drive, and I just know that's really not a good thing to deal with. I have 2 family members who are cops, and they always say that the worst thing to show up to is a drunk driving accident.
I thought it was really surprising that he said the majority of the time the passenger actually gets killed instead of the actual drunk driver. I think that's a really sad statistic, and I've never actually heard that before. This presentation showed me the real dangers of drinking and driving, or driving under the influence in general. I didn't realize it was such a huge deal, and even just in Conway, Arkansas alone, it is a huge problem, and I didn't really realize the effects that drinking really has on people and the way it can ruin people's lives.
I'd say I learned a lot from that, and I'm sure other prom goers did too. Now let's see editor Nate Perry's take on that roaring 20s night.
Kane is in the building.
Thanks, Mr. Earl and Mr. Reyes, for making it a great night.
Let's come back down to earth for a bit and look at some classroom activities. Over at the middle school, PE teacher Karen Vander has 4 through 6 on their own.
That's what Ferrari saw when she put together this segment about a Bulldog boot camp.
Well, on Wednesdays, the kids at the middle schools have a rotating class between the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade every 9 weeks. And so I used to take them to the computer lab to work on reading and stuff, and Mr. Tucker said, if you can come up with something different, you can do it. And I came up with exercising to do it, and we called it boot camp. And that's how we came up with it. Well, I want them to be, of course, more active, and I'm trying to show them that they can do more things, that you don't have to have weights and bands and stuff. You can do stuff with your body. Now, we do some bands and things sometimes, and jump ropes. We do the stairs, and I show them almost every day. I show them different things that they can do just with their body, using the wall, stuff like that. So usually each class we start with running the stairs. So that's like their favorite, and they came up with that. And then we go in the room, in my PE room, and we do different things. We might do wall sits, we might do burpees. We do all kind of things in each class. I try to show them, like, if you work your bicep, you need to work your tricep. You work your opposing muscles. If you work your stomach, your abs, you need to work your back too, because both of those work to have a strong core. So I'm just trying to show them that there's things they can do, even if they're by themselves and they don't have exercise. And most of them seem to get it, and a lot of them have done the things we've done before.
My super soldiers.
Well, the kids really haven't said a lot to me. I mean, I think they like it and they enjoy it, and I know they've told some other teachers they really like it, and I think they like it that they're active, you know, to sit in their desk and write and do those kind of things.
Check. All right. I think we're good.
When middle schoolers aren't revving up their heart rates, they're also learning about a lot of different things.
One example was fourth grade teacher Nicole Gooch had her class talk about southeast part of our country. Jared Sanders and Grayson Ham-Beacon were there to document the project.
Okay, well right now we're currently studying the southeast region. We started off with geography, and then we went into the resources of the southeast.
The state tree is a sable palmetto.
Okay, so the palmetto, what did you learn about the palmetto? Is it taller than a regular palm tree or smaller than a regular palm tree?
It's taller.
And from there they presented them to the class, and they could either do it as a slideshow or as a poster board. It kind of gave them the choice to do that.
State tree. Alabama state tree is a southern longleaf pine. And my state tree is a pine tree. My state capital is Raleigh. Raleigh.
But they were presenters, and they told the class about the region itself as well, their state, that they learned about. Currently, we are finishing up our unit on the Southeast, and I could not be more proud of what the students have accomplished in their research and their presentation.
No. You know what a biome is?
I had no idea.
Alright, well, if you or anyone else listening does not know what that word means, 7th graders and science teacher Jackie Elsinger's class are about to educate us.
Yep. Diego Navarro and Audrey Flanagan dropped by and actually saw the students eat the habitats they made.
Really?
7th grade class did a project on biomes. There are 6 major biomes.
All right, so to you this might look like a regular shoebox or box, but inside of it is actually a grassland with a prairie dog and an owl and a snake. So here's what it looks like. So what you're supposed to do is put this like this and then look inside of it and then move the popsicle sticks so that way it looks like they're moving.
Oh, we made desert biomes, and mine is Cupcake. Mine is Kate.
Mine's Legos.
And mine's made out of graham crackers for Sam.
My biome is the boreal forest. It has coniferous trees and lots of snow in this region because it's up in the northern region of the world. And I chose wolves, deer, and polar bears, but mainly wolves and deer are in the boreal forest. there's a lot more of these trees around, but I only had one, so that's why I only have one. And then also, not mainly just ice and snow, but also just grass all around, not like a tundra. And
So for their project, they had to make this at home to show the biotic factors and the abiotic factors. As you can see, they were very creative and did a great job.
When school ends each day, a lot of kids can't go home right away because of their parents' schedules.
Thankfully, St. Joseph has an after-school care program that lets students relax, play, or study. Editor Sydney Pham shows us this place.
I like to play with my friends. To play different games and have fun and stuff.
Where would you go if you didn't go to after school care?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Playing, friends, art, everything. All the games and activities they have. The teachers and spending time with my friends.
I like to play in the gym and play in the bouncing house.
I like the art room and the computer lab. This room has a lot of snacks, and I love cookies.
After school care has been such a blessing to me and my family because my husband works and I work, and we know that our daughter is safe and having fun. She can be here till 6 o'clock, and we know that she's being taken care of. Alyssa, what do you like about after school care?
I like doing art projects and getting a snack.
All right.
Can you tell us what your daily experience with after school care is for you and your family?
Yes, our kids love to go to after school care. We really don't have another option for after school. It's a lot of fun. They love to play with their friends. And
where would your kids go if they didn't have after school care?
I'd sure hate to know where they'd end up being.
Millie, can you tell us what your favorite thing is at after school care?
Playing with my friends.
Tell us your favorite thing about after school care, why you like it, how it's helpful to you.
So I'm a single mom and I work in Little Rock at Children's Hospital, and I work different hours, different days, and it's so nice to know that I have someone dependable and I know that they're loved and cared for, and it just gives me really good peace of mind that I can go to work and not worry about where my kids are or if they're safe or if they're being loved on. They always come home and say that they love it here and that they have a great time, and sometimes when I come to pick them up early, they get mad at me. Why do y'all love after school care?
Because they take care of Braden and they love Braden.
At this stage of our lives, many of us aren't too sure about career paths. Last month's career fair provided students some possibilities.
High school counselor Kristen Perano talked about the career fair with reporters Presley Harmon and my bro Colin.
Purpose of the career fair, I would say, would be to expose our students to different careers and give them the opportunity to be able to ask questions and really think about life after high school.
And we've got a lot of electrical engineers that chose to decide they want to do the engineering field. Right. Work as an electrician, work as a mechanic, get some practical knowledge. It's huge. And even just a little bit of relationships will be along the way can make all big difference like I'm ready for. It's very beneficial.
Honestly, I heard positive feedback from students about every representative that came to the career fair.
Your license, make sure you're safe for the general public. The other options in dentistry too is if you're not really into the science aspect of it and you like more of the arts and art side of it, if you're kind of a person who likes to draw or sculpt, dental laboratory technology. I always tell people about that because we do the prep.
Reggie Rose and team from Simmons Bank, the Conway Police Department and Fire Department. We had the UCA Theater and Film Department.
But if you go up and talk to them like they're usually talk to them like this, and you're like, hey, I know you're having a bad day, and I know that maybe I got to take you to jail, but hey, I'm going to help you out, and I'm going to be nice to you, and I'm going to do what I can to be there for you. You ever heard the thing, you catch more flies with honey?
No.
Okay, well, it's just an expression. You be nice to people. You treat people like you want to be treated. You have the ability to talk to them.
That makes sense.
Don't be just this.
Y'all are 10th grade now, right? Okay, 10th grade, yes. Yeah. So you got a couple more years to before college.
Yeah. It just kind of depends. You never really know what you're going to see because sometimes people call and say, hey, this just happened, or, I've been noticing this. So each day is different, but
I really heard positive feedback both from students and teachers. I am always willing to hear from students careers that they would like to see at their career fair because the ultimate goal is to make it meaningful for them.
I don't know about you, Timmy, but there are a lot of kids that are actually scared, traumatized even, to go to the doctor or dentist's office. This is why the UCA nursing department tries to curb these fears.
Teddy Bear Clinic UCA students, nurses held for our preschool and kindergarten kids was sure cure for anxieties they may have.
Teddy Bear Clinic is used for the kids. They have anxiety about going to the doctor or going to the hospital. So Teddy Bear Clinic is a fun, interactive way for them to come in, bring their favorite stuffed animal or baby, and then they go through stations to kind of help them relieve the fear that they have, whether it be having an x-ray or getting shots or putting a cast on.
I mean, we don't really get the chance to be around kids a lot, and I think this is a lot of us, it's our first time being around kids. I mean, I know you were a camp counselor.
Yeah, but not in this aspect, more health instead of just entertaining.
Right, we spend a lot of time in the hospital for our clinical rotations with adults, and so to spend a whole morning with kids, it was a lot of fun.
I enjoy it just going through and just seeing everyone smile and like have those crazy stories of the kids with their teddy bears right now, what's happening, what's going on, and that's kind of just helping them like with their playtime and just imagination grow.
I think if you start out introducing healthcare at a young age, it allows them to ease that anxiety as they get older. And this is just a fun way to kind of incorporate
No, we're friends
everything.
with them instead of,
yeah,
we're not just
right.
like overpowering them, we're friends with them
Mhm.
and we're here to help, not do anything else.
Right.
I think the Teddy Bear Clinic has a lot of value for the little people. I think it gives them some experience with a few medical situations that they may be in, experience with nurses. So if something should come up in their life where they have to see a doctor, see a nurse for a special thing, it's not so scary, and they have talked to nurses about it and experienced that a little bit through their bear when they're not the patient.
And that brings this episode of Doghouse Connect to a close. We hope you liked it.
Be watched for our next show. Until then, stay connected.